Hey, and welcome to the DOD. This is Dose of Desi, moments of inspiration and motivation to get you through your day. Let's be honest, life can be intense and a little sunny, but it's good to have somebody to walk you and coach you through this journey we call life. I want to talk to you today from the thought position versus vision. Position versus vision. It's so important that we link up to the vision of any organization, and not just to any organization that we're part of, but also to our personal assignment. A lot of people in our generation are so hungry for a position that they are not linked to the mission. So then when you take a position from them, they get upset. But as long as you're attached to the mission, it doesn't matter what position you hold, because at the end of the day, you're not locked to the seat. You're locked to the vision and the mission of the house, or the vision and the vision of your assignment. Here's the thing: as God begins to use us, we will begin to climb the ladder of success. But the thing is, if you're so tied to the title that you have been given, then you won't be able to succeed, because what ends up happening is that your identity begins to become entangled and wrapped around that position. So once, maybe because of sickness or family emergencies or whatever the reason is, maybe your availability, you have to take that position then, or you have to move from that position. Now you go into a crisis mode because you don't know who you are. As you guys know, that DOD is always inspired by something. So let's talk. I was listening to a Facebook Live the other day, and there was this pastor, and he was talking about how it is very difficult to get partners connected to the mission of their church. And because a lot of people are connected to the personality or the pastor, but not many people are connected to the vision and the mission. And this is why it's very important when we get to the end part of our series of ABCs of Purpose, we're going to talk about mission, and we're going to talk about vision, and how to make sure that the people that are under you, that you have influence over, is really connected to the vision and the assignment God gave you. And here's the thing: if we are so tied up into the position of where God is taking us and not into the mission, what is the assignment God has called you for? If we get tied into that, it doesn't matter who the leader is. It doesn't matter if you are on vacation, because the thing is, when you go on vacation, because as a leader, you will need a break, your vision will not your vision, but God's vision will still go on, and it will have a new team lead for that particular event, because the people are tied to the mission and not the position. There's this point, as I was thinking on this topic, there was a couple thoughts that came in my head, and I just wanted to share with you. Does your vision have a mission? At my church, every time we get together on Sundays and Wednesdays, we recite the mission statement. Everybody who attends that church, regardless if they are babies to the oldest saint at that church, we all know the mission. We can recite it. You can literally take us away from the church and away from our leadership and ask us to recite the mission statement, and everyone can do it. Why? Because it is drilled in us to know the vision of the house, right? And the thing is, as you start your purpose, everyone who attends your events, everyone who is on your staff needs to know the mission. If you don't know the mission, you are bound to fail. And that's why we get lack of communication, because no one knows where they're going. And that means we are all sitting behind a parked van, because when you're working in your purpose, you're no longer in a car. You're in a van, you're in an RV, you in a yacht. So we all in this big boat, and no one knows where we're going. The second thing that came to my mind that I wanted to share is, when we are attached to position, destruction is inevitable. Just like seasons change, positions change, and we must be prepared for the next season. Here's the thing, and I'm going to run. Life is about seasons, right? And actually, it's funny that we're bringing this up, because I had just wrote another tip that we're going to talk about more in the leadership series, not the series, but in the DOD ABCs. And here's the seasons: training, teaching, tenure. First, you're trained, then you are tenured, then you teach. Meaning, I learn and grow, then I put into application, and then I advise. And we'll talk about that more when we get to L. But here's the point I need you to understand. If you are attached to a position or a thing and not to the assignment that God has called you to, you will not succeed the way you need to until you and I both get attached to the vision and the assignment and the mission and come under the vision and the assignment. Because your position will always change. We're always playing musical chairs. Always. I love you guys, and we will see you on the next go round.